They're keeping Alina Habba in the role. You see what they did? It was very clever. Basically, what they did is said, we're going to keep Alina Habba in the role, regardless of what they say, and we're going to fire the person that the judges picked, and we're just going to remove her nomination and keep her in that temporary position for the entire term of my presidency. That's what they're doing. It's gangster shit. It's gangster shit. And what I'm trying to get people to understand is that this is the ongoing process of a war. I've been talking about this quite often. There are 4 civil wars going on, one of which, actually 6, but I'll just talk about one here, which is the civil war with the lower courts versus the Supreme Courts and the executive branch. And it's an ugly one. It's a back and forth because, unfortunately, the Trump administration is like, listen, do it our way or else. And the judicial branch is like, have you heard of the lower court judicial branch? It's like, have you heard of 1, checks and balances, and 2, a decentralized government in 3 branches of government? 3 branches of government don't do what the other 2 branches don't do what the other 1 branch wants, no matter what branch it is. It is. And what's happening is we're getting this fight back and forth that basically the judges are not used to. They're not used to this kind of smoke. Some want it, but others, they don't. They're not ready for this kind of smoke. And I think the biggest thing that has to happen among the judicial branches, they got to show up. It's show up time. It's everything. They got to show up. Now, Zennis was almost ready to pull the trigger on the Aurelio Garcia case. They got him back in 48 hours. They're playing games. Boasberg should have been pulled the trigger on the Alien Enemies Act. They need to go full blown on them. And even if they have to hire, I wouldn't say hire, but appoint their own federal people to do it, because the DOJ, as much as they want to, the federal officers are responsible to the Constitution. They need to pull that trigger. They need to pull that trigger. There is another civil war going on. I might as well tell you right now, and I'll tell you about it in detail in the Clarity Group. As you know, I'm always mentioning the Clarity Group. Listen, there's a lot of people out of the Army who've talked to me and indirectly through other people about getting prepared for what would be a civil war. Now, we hope it's not anything violent that would ever break out, but at one point there are protocols to take over military leadership or leadership if need be. And they know it could be a career ender, might be a life ender. And, they're waiting at that point. Some people are conditioned and will follow what the president says, commander-in-chief, and others are like, this is wrong. We got a problem. And we don't know how many is on each side, but it's getting rough. Somebody needs to pull the trigger on this. And no, I don't mean hurt anybody. No, I don't mean any code word for like assassination or nothing. No, I'm not for any of that, whether it be the president, vice president, or anybody else. I'm not for that. I'm not supporting that at all, nor am I even hinting toward it. What I'm saying is pull the trigger as in the action. That's a term of reference, saying we need to really start focusing on what we can actually do in our roles and positions. Now, we as people can only do so much. And that's what I tell people in the Clarity Group. These are the 4 or 5 things you need to do. Now relax and wait for the process. And it's frustrating. I know. I mean, we're talking about, God, what, 3.5 years. That's 40 months, 180 something weeks. I know. But at this point, it's not a matter of we're just sitting here doing nothing. We're doing what we can, but there are people in power who need to do more than they should, whether it be the Democratic Congress, whether it be the judicial branch, or whether it be, yes, even dare I say, the military. Hang in there with me. I'll be sharing a lot of confidential things coming up in the Clarity Group with something I've just invented called assessment alerts. And they will be daily, and they will be very specific to answer things, to bring you at calm and peace. It's not that you need more breaking news. You don't. You need some decoding of what that breaking news means. Plus, I do several lives. A week. And what I want you to understand is that you need to be able to get that, whether you be at the lives or the replays or whatever. It will bring your pressure down. It will have you thinking clearly. It will take you from chaos to clarity, from stress to strategy, and from anger to assessment. Come on, board.